Hello everyone, Kevin Walmsley here. I'm the President and Vice Chancellor of Nipissing University, and we're about to begin our 2026 convocation. And today we have a very special guest who's going to be a graduate of Nipissing University. It is none other than Lise Maisonneuve. Welcome.
Thank you.
We are so honored to count you as a graduate of Nipissing University. You have had a long and storied career, and we would like to talk about that a little bit with you today.
Thank you very much.
Well, it certainly is my pleasure. And you spent some time as a criminal lawyer, and then you decided that you wanted to be a judge. So I want to get at that. You've had such an impact on people's lives, on the justice system. What was the motivation in moving from the status of lawyer to judge?
Actually, Kevin, I will be addressing the group today and discussing that a bit further. I really didn't have a plan. I just kept doors open, and I had great mentors who convinced me that I should apply to be a judge. I took the leap, even though I was quite uncertain that I should do so, and I was given the privilege of being a judge and being selected. That's how it happened.
Well, isn't that an incredible story? And it's also inspirational to our students who are wondering what they're going to do. And in your case, a lot of our students need not worry because they have those talents inside. As a judge, you face some very difficult situations, and in a way, you became a trailblazer in Ontario as someone who worked in the very difficult conditions of the pandemic. I wondered if you could share a few thoughts of that challenge and how you took that on.
Kevin, at the time I was the Chief Justice of the largest court in Canada, which is the Ontario Court of Justice. That court does criminal, family law, and all of the provincial offenses across Ontario. The judges and the justice of the peace deal with that. We have, at the time, we had a judiciary of approximately 750 members that were part of the judiciary. Like all of us, we were quite shocked and certainly unprepared to deal with the pandemic. And what we needed to do, we needed to pivot very, very quickly. And my main concern was always, of course, the health of the people coming before the court, the health of the judiciary, the court staff and whatnot. But we needed to continue to serve the public. And through great collaboration with the Attorney General of Ontario, we all worked together collaboratively to bring in things that we had never seen before. For example, virtual appearances in court was unheard of before the pandemic. And we learned very quickly, and we did our best. Did we make mistakes? Of course we did, but I think we did quite well in serving the public in very difficult times, like all other public institutions in Ontario.
Folks have an image of a judge as someone who really understands the law very well, understands when that law has been transgressed. But in my brief conversations with you, I really find a grounded personal sense of justice that is really people-centered, and that really makes me confident in the legal system. Can you talk about how Lise the person addresses being a judge, and this sense of justice that you have? It emanates from your personality. And I wonder if you could talk about that a little bit.
It's very, very kind of you, Kevin. And one of the reasons I'm so honored to be here today is that I am from Northern Ontario. I was raised in Timmins, Ontario, and I left when I went to university in Ottawa. My family is still in Timmins, Ontario, and my roots are from the north. And there's something that happens with people from the north, is that you learn that community, and that doing the right thing is what you need to do. We are very isolated in the north from perhaps some larger urban centers in Ontario, but the values that you gain, they've certainly served me in my role as a judge. And when you're a judge, what you always have to remember is that what's the most important is the persons who appear before you. It is their day in court. It is one of the most difficult times in their lives when they appear before you, either as a witness or, for my case in criminal law, as an accused. And that you have to remember that they deserve your attention. They deserve 100% of you. And society as a whole deserves the same of a judge. And if you remember to be humble, and that humanity is one of the greatest characteristics of a judge, most judges will do a great job.
You headed up a commission, a national commission for sport in Canada. I wondered if you could say a few words to the folks out there so they understand the serious questions that you asked about our sports system and the people that you spoke to and the things they had to say. I know that's difficult to sum up in a couple of minutes, but we'd really like to hear about that.
We were tasked with, we had two parts to our mandate. One of them was to make recommendations to the federal government on how to make sports safer in Canada, and also on what changes need to be brought to the sports system as a whole, including governance, funding, just to name a few, in order to make a better sports system in Canada. And that was our work. So as a result, we had the opportunity, and it's something that I will never forget, to meet with incredible members, incredible Canadians, who unfortunately, some of them had suffered some very serious maltreatment. Others are incredible leaders in the sports system. And what came out loud and clear is that everybody is rowing in the same direction. Everybody wants the same change, and everybody is committed to making sure that the sports system in Canada is more inclusive, safer, and accessible to all. And if any of you have time to read the report, you will see that the recommendations actually deal with that, and hopefully they'll be acted upon.
Well, it sure seems to me, as someone who has studied sport for my entire career, that they selected the right person to head up that commission. You came in with open eyes and an open heart.
Thank you very much.
And so, you know, there's going to be probably 1,200 people listening to your address today, but many thousands more are not going to hear the message. What is the message that you're going to give to our graduates today, summed up in a few sentences?
Follow your passion. The road may be unclear today, but if you, again, the theme of keeping the doors open and walking through them, even though you may be feeling some anxiety or uncertainty, and if you don't walk through them, you don't know what's on the other side. And when you walk through them, make sure you keep the door open for others who will follow you.
It certainly seems to me that we've made an outstanding choice for an honorary doctorate candidate. Lise, thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you well. And you've been such a great leader in the Canadian justice system, and we're very proud that you're from the North. So thank you very much.
Sayu, thank you. Thank you very much.